Welcome to this explainer on the history of poisons, from accidental hazards to modern medicine. Have you ever wondered how the exact same substance can be both a deadly weapon and a life-saving cure? Well, you're in the right place. Our relationship with these intense chemicals tells an absolutely incredible story about human ingenuity, survival, and science. Let's jump right in. Long before modern chemistry was even a thing, humans discovered that some plants could literally kill you. And at first, this happened purely by accident. Early foragers noticed the hard way that eating certain berries, mushrooms, or plants caused severe sickness or, even death. It was a brutal game of trial and error just trying to survive in the wild. Now, all of that tragic trial and error naturally raised a massive question, one that would honestly change human history forever. Could these deadly natural hazards actually be used on purpose? It's a dark thought, sure, but a totally logical leap. I mean, if a specific plant accidentally took out a tribe member, what happens if we start wielding it intentionally? Over thousands of years, ancient hunters started answering that exact question by actively experimenting with these natural poisons. They realized, hey, we don't just have to avoid these toxic plants, they could actually transform natural hazards into rugged survival tools, actively weaponizing them to level the playing field in a really hostile environment. So, as these early hunters experimented, they started taking these potent plant extracts and animal toxins and coating the tips of their arrows and spears. And wow, the result was a total game changer for our ancestors. Suddenly, a tiny, otherwise non-lethal wound could bring down a massive animal. We're talking about a huge leap forward in hunting efficiency. But, as you can probably guess, poison soon became way more than just a hunting tool. As ancient civilizations discovered poisonous minerals like arsenic and toxic plants like hemlock, human conflict completely shifted. Rulers and assassins secretly used poison to eliminate their enemies without ever engaging in open battle. Unlike the loud, messy combat of swords and regular arrows, poison could kill silently. It was the ultimate invisible weapon. This knowledge actually became highly institutionalized. The ancient Egyptians were incredibly methodical about it. They literally recorded recipes for poisonous substances right onto their medical papyrus scrolls. And the Greeks and Romans were heavily studying these toxins too. But there's a fascinating dual purpose here. Some became infamous assassination weapons, while others were actually used as medicines when given in tiny, super careful doses, which brilliantly illustrates the dark political reality of that era. We aren't just talking about shadowy assassins lurking in alleys. This was a formal tool of the state. In fact, one of history's most famous poison victims was the brilliant Greek philosopher Socrates, who was officially sentenced to drink a poisonous hemlock mixture. It really shows you just how deeply integrated these toxins were into ancient justice and politics. Tracing this journey through history, you can see how during the Middle Ages, this knowledge continued to spread and evolve. Alchemists and early physicians dug so much deeper, intensely studying minerals, herbs, and chemicals. And along the way, they were discovering both deadly poisons and life-saving remedies. This relentless curiosity over centuries really laid the groundwork for the modern laboratories we rely on today. So, over time, all that medieval alchemy eventually evolved into modern science and medicine. We moved way past trial and error or mystical recipes on scrolls. Scientists finally learned exactly how different poisons affect the human body at a microscopic level. They were unlocking the actual chemical secrets that our ancient ancestors could only guess at from the outside. Today, that careful laboratory study reveals a really fascinating duality. Many of those exact same poisonous substances used by ancient assassins are still highly dangerous toxins, and they're carefully studied and regulated. Yet, by understanding their precise mechanisms, scientists use some of them to create modern, life-saving medicines. It's wild to think about, but the poison and the cure are quite literally just a matter of dosage. So, here's what you should really take away from this explainer. From prehistoric foraging accidents all the way to today's high-tech labs, every poison we know of traces back to one simple discovery. Nature had already created these deadly substances. We didn't invent them. Humans simply learned how to use them. Whether it was for hunting, assassination, or healing, our history with poison is just a masterclass in human adaptation. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other powerful hidden tools is nature keeping right in our own backyards, just waiting for us to figure out how to use them?